If I was running for president or even just a new precedent, my slogan would be make humans great again. And that's really what this journey is all about. So if you're into making humans great again and you want to be great yourself, and I don't just mean great in terms of name, fame, and fortune, but great in terms of a good person, a person of purpose and values and vision, and you feel that urgency of emergence and you don't want to wait for another emergency to actually be who you really are. And we really are in an emergency. We're actually in a legitimate apocalypse, the real meaning of which means the lid has come off and what has been hidden is now being revealed. Can anybody say Epstein? And that's just one of many things. There's been UFOs and JFKs and Epstein files. And, since COVID and really long before, there is this unveiling of so much of what has been hidden. And that can be a very, very difficult, painful time to discover that there really is no Santa Claus or Easter Bunny. I hope there's no children watching right now. If there is, I'm joking. Of course, there's Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. They're all real. Maybe they're more real than what we're experiencing right now in this age of deep fakes. But it's a time to have our eyes open. And if you've been living in the dark so long, your eyes have adjusted, which we all have to some extent. Then when the light gets turned on, you don't go, thank you. You're like, shut that thing off. It's burning my eyes. Right. And so seeing clearly, it says that you shall know the truth and the truth will make you free, but it doesn't have the disclaimer, which is first, the truth will scare the crap out of you and anger you and annihilate you, but then you're free, baby. And, when the Jews got freed from Egypt, it wasn't a party. They were going to the promised land, but what the promised land really was a desert. It was full of promise. That's really what that means. It's full of potential because there's nothing else there yet. And so we're in a period of becoming unchained by really beginning to see and hear what's going on. And with AI and soon no more secrets, there will be increasingly more information coming out and also more distraction and disinformation and misinformation. And so freedom becomes just another word for nothing left to lose. And that's kind of the time we're in right now. And I've had a vision, or a vision came to me about 6 years ago, before ChatGPT came out, that was all about showing me that this massive existential crisis was coming. And it said, build the ark, a flood is coming. And everything it showed me has come to pass. And there's much more coming. And it's actually happened a lot faster. And it's what drove me to write this book. I used to be a tech nerd when I was a kid. And I watched war games and I went home and built a program to hack into the government, or at least simulate that, and freaked my mom out and impressed the hell out of my friends. But eventually I got into the brain and neuroscience and thought I was going to become a neuroscientist. And then I got into the heart and the mind and poetry, became an actor. And then I had a near-death experience while shooting a movie, and the veil parted and I saw something beyond everything I'd touched before, and realized that there was really this inner technology, consciousness, and that was really our destiny, which was to master the inner technology, the AI age, the age of disruption, a legitimate apocalypse where everything that's been hidden is now being revealed. I've been doing this work for 25 years with tens of thousands of people, really hundreds of thousands, coaches, teachers, authors, creators, heart-centered entrepreneurs, Fortune 500 execs, Academy Award winners, Emmy winners. But the main work has been as a human evolution coach, helping people to pull out of the matrix and everybody else's blueprints and discover their own blueprint, discover their real purpose that everybody has, just like every seed has a pattern in it. And you have one too. And it's really all about how to future-proof your life, your work, your wealth, and your well-being in this age of disruption. and how to become irreplaceable. And in the very near future, as AI commoditizes everything humans can do better, faster, cheaper, the big question is going to be, what's a human for? And we have to answer that question now. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you already know that probably, that there's deep inner technologies, intuition, creativity, connection, healing, all kinds of capacities that we have. But that has mostly been a nice to have, something you do at an Esalen retreat and or Omega Institute or a Derek Rydell retreat. But it's going to become something we have to live on a daily basis so that we can hold on to our humanity and discover what really makes us undeniable and irreplaceable, what really makes us valuable. And just from a practical level, we're going to have to discover what is it that you possess that AI can never copy, can never create an algorithm around. And there is something, there is the original source code, your life code, your embodied and lived wisdom, perspective, and taste, which is going to become the new Gucci bag, the new moat. It's going to be the thing that truly makes you valuable, because everything else will be commodified by machines and algorithms and AI. So if you are a coach, a teacher, an author, a healer, a creator, a mission-centered entrepreneur, yes, use the tools, learn the tools, master the tools, but use them to scale who you are authentically. Use them to scale love, to make love go viral. Ooh, what a concept, right? Let's become super spreaders of the love virus and super spreaders of wisdom, not AI slop and just more cut and paste of the same. So if you can see that right there, you can go and check that out. In 2 minutes, it will show you where you're in alignment, where you're out of alignment, and what to do about it. And you're also going to get a bonus kit, the Inevitable Success Kit, another training from me, and the 7-day life alignment playbook. And if you jump on that, you're also going to get the Life's Work Decoder, another thing that's based on 25 years of my work, working, as I said, with a lot of people in helping them to discover their unique life's work and how to actually make a living at it and make a difference with it. And that you can literally run the Life's Work Decoder, and in 5 minutes, guaranteed, you're going to be shocked at what you discover about yourself and about your life, and how everything in your story has been conspiring to prepare you for this moment. And even my wife just took it recently, and she was like, literally, it sat with her for days. I let my family do it recently at a family dinner, and it was the most amazing family dinner we've ever had. I mean, it's like people are like, "What did you get? What did you get?" And people are comparing their reports, and I've never seen my family have a conversation like that. So try it with your family, try it with friends. What archetype are you? What life path are you? And then I'm going to be doing some live teaching, a masterclass coming up, how to future-proof your life, work, wealth, and well-being in this age of disruption, and lots of goodies coming down the pike. So check that out. And again, if you're feeling the concern like more than half of society right now about the future of your jobs, about work, about the economy, just about the situation going on in our world right now, which is all going to be magnified by the rise of AI and its ability to manipulate. And I'm not anti-tech. I'm not a Luddite. I love technology. I just love humanity better. And I want to scale humanity and understand that the real alignment problem is not with artificial intelligence, it's with human intelligence. We have to get aligned. When we're aligned, whatever tool we use is used for a higher good. That's the big idea. While Silicon Valley and the world is spending trillions of dollars, more than they've ever spent, more CapEx than they've ever spent, and we are like the electrification of the world, the railroads, everything. Hey there, Havala. Good to see you. As we're spending more money than we ever have in any industrial revolution, we are going to completely algorithmify the world. It's happening and we're not going to be able to stop it. AI will be in your toaster very soon. And when they give rights to AI, that's going to be a fun day when you go to make a cup of coffee and your coffee machine says, Derek or Lisa, I've made your coffee today half calf or your tea or whatever, because I think you're just a little too on edge lately. And then you go to open your refrigerator and it won't open, and your fridge goes, I have to agree with Bob, Mr. Coffee over there. You said you're on what's it called? Intermittent fasting, and it's not time yet to eat. And so the fridge doesn't open. And then you go over to your toaster and your toaster is like, nope, no toast for you. So this is the brave new world we're entering into. And so I'll be talking a lot more about that. I've been in the trenches for many years on this now. But again, my expertise and my mission is about helping us master our inner technology. I believe that's the real inflection point we're at, that becoming a whole new human, becoming the best versions of ourselves. If you weren't here when I was talking earlier, if I was running for president or a new precedent, my slogan would be make humans great again. But I'm running for how to be a whole new human. And so you can get this. And by the way, guys, when you get a copy of this, go to my site, DerekRydell.com. And I can put that here too. DerekRydell.com. You can just go to the homepage, click on the book thing, go to the book page. And then you can put in your information after you get the book. And I built these AI tools, personal evolution coach and a personal focus coach for you. It's my 25 years of work and a small fortune. And I built them into these tools so that you don't create more junk, but you actually discover more about you, and you upgrade your hardware, not just your hardware, and you can discover exactly what is in you and what you need to make a priority to position yourself to succeed in this age of disruption, which is also, I'll say one final point, and then I do have to go. I wasn't planning on talking long, but in this age of disruption, not only do you need to make sure you're discovering and developing what it is about you that is irreplaceable and unique, which is what I will show you how to do over the coming days and weeks, but you also need to understand that if you are a teacher, coach, healer, author, creator, mission-centered entrepreneur, or you aspire to be, this will be the greatest opportunity of our lifetime, maybe in multiple generations, to take your place as one of this new generation of change makers. It always happens during a great inflection point like this. If you look back at COVID and look now, you'll see that many of the voices that started during that time are now the thought leaders of today. For good or bad, that's the case. That's how it works. There will be millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of human beings that will be scrambling for answers, for help, for how to get a job, where to get a job, how to make a living, how to make life worth living, how to find meaning and purpose, et cetera, et cetera. So all of you change makers, thought leaders, coaches, authors, entrepreneurs, creators, this is where the greatest new artists arise, the greatest new singers and musicians arise, et cetera. So we want to be prepared for that. We want to swim out and catch the wave. We don't want to be standing on the shore when the tsunami hits and then suddenly have to turn and run. And that's what I'm going to help you do over the next 21 days or so, is prepare to become future-proof, to become irreplaceable, and very specifically and practically to take advantage of this opportunity. And so that you can be somebody, the smartest person in any room you walk in, and you can be somebody that is trusted, that is authentic, that is raising their voice and opening their heart and creating a space where people can get answers, healing, solutions, whatever that you are here to offer. Because again, people are going to need it. And in the near future, humans that have developed this inner technology are going to become the most valuable. Because again, AI is going to commodify or commoditize everything else.